Eating well does not mean that you need to put up with crap food. Here are 3 of my go-to recipes that taste great and can be made for under $5 per serve. Today we will be making a vegetable pasta, a mushroom ramen stir fry, and a pumpkin gnocchi. These recipes don't have meat in them because your girl Queenie is a pescatarian. But trust me, with these dishes you won't even miss the meat. You could always grill something meaty on the side if you prefer. And make sure you stay to the end because I'll be sharing some tips with you about how to save money on your shopping. Now we will be making a vegetarian pasta salad, recipe inspired by Recipe Tin Eats. I've put a list of ingredients down in the description below with the costs. Preheat your oven to 240 degrees, cut all your vegetables into cubes and add them to a bowl. When I cut capsicums, I remove the seedy center and also the white parts. Cut the onion into quarters and peel the layers.
Layers! Onions have layers.
And cut the mushrooms into quarters as well. Cut off the ends of the asparagus and discard this part. This part is usually hard and woody and doesn't really have a very good taste. Put the asparagus into a separate bowl with some cherry tomatoes, which you have also cut in half. Next, crush the garlic with the flat part of a knife so it's easier to remove the skin. Remove the germ from the garlic. Fun fact, this is actually a new garlic sprouting. When it's small, you can't really taste it, but when it gets bigger and bigger, it has a bit more of a bitter taste, so I like to remove this part. Crush or cut the garlic. This is my garlic crusher. It's one of the best cooking utensils I have ever bought because it saves me so much time, so if you don't have a garlic crusher, highly recommend it. Add a teaspoon of salt, olive oil, and pepper to your vegetables. If you're wondering why my olive oil is in a mustard container, it's because I like to buy really big 2-liter containers of olive oil to save money. Then just mix up all of your vegetables. Lay out your vegetables on a baking sheet. Don't they look great? There's just so much color. And bake them in the oven for 20 minutes. I would also recommend checking on the vegetables throughout because it is a really high heat and we want all the edges of the vegetables to be charred and not burnt. While that's cooking, let's make the pasta. Here's a cooking hack for you. Lay a wooden spoon over the pot so the boiling water doesn't boil over. I am a wooden spoon and you can't go through me. I know this sounds a bit weird, but hear me out. A dry wooden spoon destabilizes the bubbles. So when the boiling water makes contact with the wooden spoon, it destabilizes it and it makes the boiling water retreat. When the time is up, make sure the pasta is cooked through and drain your pasta. Now it's time to make the marinade. Cut a lemon in half and squeeze out the juice. Add garlic, extra virgin olive oil, oregano, parsley, and salt and pepper and mix it all up in a bowl. Cut a block of feta into cubes. And if you're hungry, go on, have a piece of chocolate like me. When the timer is up, you can add the asparagus and the tomatoes to the tray of roast vegetables and put them back in the oven for another 5 minutes. Now you can mix all of your ingredients together. Add the feta, marinade, pasta, roast veggies into your salad bowl and mix them up together. And there you have it, a nice healthy pasta salad. All the ingredients for this recipe cost $19.58 and you get 8 servings. So that comes down to only $2.45 per serve. Pablo has been doing an amazing job editing this video and he let me know that I forgot to say, please give this video a like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Now let's go back to the video. These are the ingredients for our ramen and I have the quantities down in the description below. Recipe inspired by Recipe Tin Eats. Discard the ends of the green onion and chop them into small pieces. Chop the shiitake mushrooms into pieces and place them into a bowl. Cut the ends of the enoki mushrooms and discard it, and then separate the enoki mushrooms into small little bundles like this and add them to a bowl. Enoki mushrooms and shiitake mushrooms are bougie, so if you would like to reduce the price on this recipe, you could always substitute these mushrooms with cup mushroom. Why do you always act like you're better than me? Because I am better than you. Peel and crush the garlic and add it to a bowl. To make the sauce, add a tablespoon of soy sauce, mirin, and 3 tablespoons of oyster sauce. Boil some water and add your ramen to a bowl with boiling water and leave for 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Drain the noodles when they're ready. Add some oil to a pan. Try not to use olive oil because it is flavored. I personally use vegetable oil or canola oil. Add the shiitake mushrooms to the pan and fry until they are golden. I love shiitake mushrooms. They have this amazing texture and flavor. Even though it's not a meat dish, it feels really meaty and hearty. Once they're cooked, add the garlic, sesame oil, and the enoki mushrooms mushrooms to the pan. Once the enoki mushrooms are soft, add the sauce and the noodles and mix it all together. Finally, add the spring onions. I rinse them in a bit of water to make sure they are clean, and here you can do a bit of a taste test and add more sauce if you'd like to. This recipe is a little bit more on the pricey side. It does come down to a total cost of $14.85. It has 3 servings and that comes down to $4.95 per serve. Here are the ingredients for the pumpkin gnocchi, and I have a list of all of the quantities down in the description below. Remove the skin from the pumpkin and cut it into small pieces, and you can always ask your boyfriend Pablo to do it if you ask nicely. Put your pumpkin into a steamer and on top of some boiling water for 10 minutes. Make sure your pumpkin is cooked and soft before taking it out of the steamer and then mashing up the pumpkin into a bowl. Put some paper towels on top of a strainer and leave the pumpkin puree there for 5 minutes. Then add the flour, ricotta, Parmesan, salt, pepper, and eggs to a bowl with the pumpkin and mix until it's all combined. You can mix it with your hands because it's easier, and I'm not gonna lie, it's also really fun squishing all of these ingredients together. Seriously, I feel like I'm playing with Play-Doh. If your hands look like this, then you know you're getting somewhere. Keep adding more flour until it becomes firm and not as sticky anymore. Once you have the dough, flour a bench top or a large chopping board like this one and cut the dough into equal parts. Then you can roll out the gnocchi. Try to make them as even as you can, and then you can roll out your gnocchi on a little gnocchi board like this one, or you could always use a fork. Did you know why gnocchi has these little lines on them? It's so that the sauce sticks to the gnocchi. The more you know. You can put them in the fridge so that they can become more firm, and if you have made a lot of gnocchi like we have, you can always add your plate of gnocchi into a freezer, and then you can transfer your gnocchi into a Ziploc bag and freeze them. To cook the gnocchi, boil some water with salt in a pot, and in a separate pan add some butter and sage. Add the gnocchi to the water until the gnocchi starts kind of dancing to the surface of the water. Then drain the gnocchi and add it to the pan with the butter and sage and fry the gnocchi until it looks crispy and golden. And that is it. That's how you make pumpkin gnocchi. This pumpkin gnocchi is incredibly cheap to make. The total cost for all the ingredients is $12.73, and you get 12 servings out of it. So the cost per serve is only $1.20. I hope you enjoyed these recipes. Here are some tips to save money on your shopping. Buy in bulk when something's on sale so you can get it for cheaper, especially canned goods and things that don't really go off. When you cook something, make a big quantity of it so you can save time. Use a shopping list when you go to the supermarket and make sure that you don't double up on any ingredients that you already have at home. A really great app that I use for my shopping list is called AnyList. This is not a sponsored video, I just wanted to share. Shop at cheaper supermarkets to save money, and go to food markets to save money on your fruits and veggies. Give this video a like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Your secret code word is noodles. So write me a comment below just so I know who watched this video all the way through. Thank you, see ya!